Hello and welcome to Matchday Live. We are here at the Peninsula Stadium as Salford City face Oldham Athletic today in this Sky Bet League 2 fixture. Now I'm joined by some lovely guests. I've got Grace Pomfret, who is Salford City Lionesses goalkeeper. How are you doing?
Doing good, thanks. How are you?
Alright, thank you. And I'm also joined for the next 5 minutes with Andy Mitten, football journalist and editor of United We Stand. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks for having me in. Looking forward to the
game.
game.
No worries. You're looking forward to covering this game, I imagine, because you used to especially come to Salford quite a lot as a kid.
I did. I'm from a family of semi-pro footballers, so I can remember coming to Moor Lane as a kid, watching Salford City in the northwest counties, and the big old white stand, which I thought was massive when I was 8 years old, and 120, 130 people here. But I remember 2006 bringing a lad who just signed for Blackburn Rovers, who's the captain of South Africa, Aaron McQuenna, and him and Benny McCarthy moved to Manchester, and I wanted to show them what real down-to-earth football was. Yeah. So I brought them here and took them in the clubhouse, and we were looked after brilliantly, and I said, this is what pie, peas and gravy looks like, because I thought he's going to start attracting all the wrong people in Manchester. Yeah. And he really enjoyed it, and we've got happy memories. Junior Cup finals here, and then obviously watching the rise since 2014 and watching the ground develop and all the players come through. Some of them I've known, people like Danny Webber, and it's been a brilliant rise for the club.
It's changed quite a lot, to say the least, hasn't it? Definitely. I mean, especially Grace, you're joining us now with this really upcoming fast-paced time. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a good journey with the club.
Definitely is. You never know, could be another one of our club legends at some point. You never know. Now, obviously, we are against Oldham Athletic today, and there's some local rivalry there. I mean, it's only 20 minutes up the road. But what's your thoughts on the game so far, Andy?
I think I've just tweeted that when I first came here, Oldham were a Premier League team with a team of players who all sounded like Viz cartoon characters, Frankie Bunn, Roger Palmer, and Salford City were in the 10th division, so that swing from 10th to me, it's like two lifts in a tower.
Insane, the journey.
And I'm looking through the team and I'm seeing the players who I know. There's obviously some Manchester United links there. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson played in the first team for Oldham. I think people will know Harry Kuehl, the Oldham manager, and Paul Scholes, I think he played for a big team round here. And then you've got the lads at Salford. James Wilson was obviously a striker, got a chance under Louis van Gaal, and Deshaun Bernard, who's a very highly rated young defender from Manchester United. It's never been a derby, so it's really interesting that it's now a derby, because you've got Salford who are on the up, and Oldham Athletic, much to the frustration of their fans, I think are in 89 for 90 in the Football League, and that's really sad to me, because when I was a teenager, Oldham were reaching cup finals. In 1994, Oldham pushed Manchester United to the FA Cup semi-final and a very late goal at Wembley, and there are some Latics fans who say that was the beginning of their demise, but it's a proper football club, and I think clubs like that need to survive and serve the communities like Salford City are doing now, and engage in the communities, and Oldham is a proud town with a very proud football club, and I think that deserves to be treated with respect by the people who are custodians of that club. And when I look at it and I see 25 managers in the last 25 years, I don't think that's a good sign, and I'd like to see Oldham get back up.
I think people would. I mean, especially with Oldham, we consider it a real tough tie. We consider it to be a lot of rivalry. It's a shame that fans can't be here today, because Salford fans and Oldham fans, they love the football banter between themselves, and it's especially frustrating that they can't be here today, and it's special, these kind of games. I mean, There's some people that find this game a lot more special than others, so our club secretary Andy Giblin is a massive Oldham fan, and the Salford fans and supporters group will know that too, so he's going through a tough kind of battle in his head today.
And I bet he never thought that the two teams would
No.
meet in a league fixture.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the quirks, because as you say, that it's 7 or 8 miles from here. And Paul Scholes was born in Salford but grew up as an Oldham fan. The two areas are interjoined, and he loved watching the teams that I've mentioned, and now Salford City, the team who are doing better. And obviously it is bad without fans, and one of my books was about derby games around the world, and what makes derby games is the fans. And it's the edge, the animosity in some countries, the songs, the rivalry, the geography, and this is an established rivalry between these two teams. And the way it's looking, they're probably not going to stay in the same division for so long, but it could, if there were fans here, there would be a load of edge, and I predict some of the songs which are would be sung, and that all adds to the afternoon.
It
and
really
it's just
does.
a shame that it's really sad. I've been fortunate to still watch football as a journalist, go into these empty shells of stadiums. I was in Paris for the Man United game by myself, and on one hand you're thinking, United are beating PSG here, this is amazing, and on the other, this is awful, because when I came last year, all my mates were there and everyone was going crazy, and that's what football should be about, but we all know the reasons why it's not.
No, I completely agree with that. I think we kind of want to make sure, especially with performances like today, I know all the Salford fans are hoping that the lads go out there and smash it, so it gives them something to celebrate at home. Now I want to ask, so we've got to say that interim head coach Paul Scholes is obviously going to be managing that side today. Do you think it'll be a tough game for him, Grace?
I think it'll be a tester, definitely, because obviously he's coming to a new team, but they seem to have progressed with him coming in as the head coach and like the manager for the team. So I do think that Salford will pull off the win for today.
What do you think about it? I'm sure you might have some thoughts on Paul Scholes, playing for that big team at some point.
I went to Paul's unveiling as Oldham athletic manager, and I divided my time from between Manchester and Spain for like the last 20 years, and there was like 40 journalists there, so it was a big deal at Boundary Park. And he saw me and went, "Don't tell me you've come all the way from Spain for this." And I said, well, "I've not actually. United are playing PSG tomorrow, but it is a good story." And we had a nice chat, and he's a really good talker. I like him as a person. I think he's very dry. I think he's witty. I think he really knows football, and we've seen that in the media. And I'd love him to be a successful football manager. I don't know what his plans are. I've not asked him what his plans are, but he absolutely knows football. And when you've got that level of knowledge and that depth of knowledge, it's a shame when it's not being put to some good. And I've got to say, Harry Kewell, even though we associated him with Liverpool or Leeds United, when I first saw him come to Old Trafford with Leeds in the early 90s, I remember sitting in K-Stand and thinking, wow, he is a cracking player. And I'd only previously done that, I think, with Eric Cantona from Leeds United players. Kewell was brilliant. It's a really exciting Leeds team, not that I wanted to admit it at the time, so I'm looking forward to it. If you want me to go for a prediction, I'd say a Salford City victory.
Oh, see, I'm sure the Salford City fans at home would love to hear that. I mean, we've got to hope for it. I know the Salford fans are always saying that when they're giving me the score predictions, they're now saying like Salford City 2 and then Pidge 1, because our former player Carl Piagiani is playing for Oldham, so that's going to cause a bit of rivalry there. But it's nice to know the score prediction, but I've got to ask, you've said a Salford City win. What's the actual score going to be?
2-1, and I've just noticed another former United player there, Zach Durnley, and also Ash Hunt. I remember going to write about Fleetwood in 2016, and he was like the exciting signing, so I don't know how he's doing, but I watched him closely in that game. That was Fleetwood Sheffield United, so it shows how teams can really move up. Sheffield United in the Premier League. So my prediction, which will be hopelessly wrong, but if it's right, I'll go to Salford precinct tonight, and I wait a pint off every Salford City fan watching this. 2-1.
Okay, well,
I'll stand on the East Lancs Road.
Well, I hope you are right, but obviously you've got to go and do your journalist things that you got to do. But a big thank you for joining us, and I know the fans all want to say a big thank you for joining us as well. So thank you for that. Now we are going to show you now what training was like this week, because training obviously is a bit fun when you've got Paul Scholes being interim head coach. A few strikes in there, so take a look at inside training. So that was how training went this week, with some pretty good tune behind it there, dare I say. I mean, we can't go out at the minute, so we may as well stick some fancy music over it. Now, obviously, team news is on your screen right now. If you haven't noticed, there's something a little bit different about the team. So, Count Vacula is starting, but you know what? You can read that Halloween thing. I'm going to go through the actual team for you. So, Count Vacula is none other than Václav Hladky. In net, as always, we've got Ibu Torre, Jason Lowe, Ash Easton, Tom Clark, Ash Hunter, Jordan Turnbull, Oscar Threlkeld, James Wilson, Brandon Santasante and Ian Henderson. So, quite a strong side as always.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think there's ever been that point where we've put a weakened side out, dare I say, because I think we have such a strong squad that I don't think any kind of starting 11 this season would be weak, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
It is quite strong. Is there any kind of standout players that you'd go to?
I think for me, Ash Hunter is a very standout player with the goals he's scored. He's a very noticeable player for people, and he's an eye catcher for the squad as well. I would have to say the keeper as well. Me being a keeper myself, it is the most important role on that pitch, and he plays a perfect role in the team. He fits in right well, and so I do think them two for me are the eye openers for the team.
I have to agree. I have to say as well that other players stand out as well that the Salford City supporters group have been talking about. James Wilson for one. He's been scoring for fun in these league home games at the minute. I mean, do you think there'd be another goal out of him today?
To be honest, I think he will get a goal today from Oldham, possibly two, because he is a very high standard player, and I do think he'll be able to create them movements and possibly get the goals that Salford need today.
He's been very clinical recently, and I think that's been good, but more than that, obviously I've got to ask you, because you are a keeper and you said that Václav is one to watch today.
Yeah.
It's before we were obviously have just gone live with this, we were talking about how keepers have got to be vocal, and Václav is quiet off the pitch, but how vocal is he when the game's on?
He's never quiet.
Yeah,
you always hear him, but that's how a keeper's got to be. You've got to command your area, you've got to tell the you can see that whole pitch. Yeah. So obviously you've got to make the players aware when they've got the back to the people that they know what they're doing, where the danger is, where the danger's not, what they've got to do. And you've just got to give them little reminders, but obviously you've got to give them little reminders constantly, so you're never shutting up pretty much. But
especially in games like this, it's important, isn't it, when Oldham do have quite a tough side. They've got players to look out for, like Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, Carl Piagiani for one, former Salford player. Do you think there'll be some danger that Oldham could score, but Václav will save?
I do think it will be a tester for him, especially with the explosive movements Oldham do create. But I do think with him controlling his defence the way that he has been, and his shot stopping and his communication, I do think it will be very unlikely that Oldham will score today.
Well, I hope you are right, Grace. Now, if you want to watch the game today, make sure you go to live.salfordcityfc.co.uk. When you're on there, you'll be able to purchase your match pass, either a commentary pass or a video and commentary pass. Now, with the full match pass, you'll be able to get the full 90 minutes with full commentary and replays as well. So, when a goal goes in, the full advantage of being at home is that you get to watch it all again. In slow-mo, of course, because a good goal in slow-mo makes it all worthwhile, right?
Everything in slow-mo is so much better.
Exactly! So make sure you check it out, support the club. Now, there is something that I do have to make you all aware of, because we are doing a little bit of Halloween commentary bingo today. Now, you can see that we're trying to make it as Halloween as possible in this studio. I mean, spiders, orange pumpkins, you name it, Halloween for you. We've got a Halloween team sheet, but everyone at home, you can take part in Halloween commentary bingo. When you are watching the game today, if you listen out to our club commentator Will Moorcroft, he'll be trying to make as many Halloween puns as possible during the game. It could be James Wilson giving a fright to the Oldham keeper, anything, you name it. But all you have to do at home is write down all those Halloween words that you hear during the commentary of today's game. Whoever gets the most words written down during the entire game, all you have to do is send us those lists of words to media@salfordcityfc.co.uk, and whoever gets the most Halloween words, and obviously we'll check to see who gets it correct, but whoever gets the most will win a Bobby the Lion teddy. I mean, your excitement on your face going so like, it is exciting. So, could be perfect, could be for you, could be for your daughter, could be for your son, could be your niece, could be your uncle or your auntie. We don't know who you want to give that Bobby the Lion to. It could be for yourself, because I for one like those Bobby the Lion teddies.
Yes.
But make sure you check out the Halloween commentary bingo. It is on our website as well for the full details, but make sure you check it out, because you really don't want to miss out, because make the most of Halloween at home, make the most of watching the game, and most importantly support the club, make it fun, and let's watch the game, and hopefully we'll have a Salford win today.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah, I mean, you're going to be listening out for those Halloween words, aren't you?
Definitely.
We'll see how many we get in the end. But yeah, make sure, write down the words that you hear from the club commentaries, email them in to us, and we'll announce the winner in the next couple of days. So, with that being said, we want to know more about this Oldham Athletic game, because it's slightly big to us Salford fans, you know. So make sure you listen to Scholes' interview, because we decided to speak to him yesterday to find out what his thoughts are on the game, find out more about the squad, and if you missed it, here it is now.
It's Paul, it's Oldham tomorrow on Saturday. Are you looking forward to the game first and foremost?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Won't be easy, but I don't think any games in this league are going to be easy. They've got some good players, they've had a couple of really good results lately, a bit bottom away, a bit Southend away, so it's a team we've got to be wary of, but the players we've got every confidence that we can go on the game.
Obviously Tuesday was perhaps frustrating but understandable given the current circumstances. Do you see it as a good thing though that we've had maybe an extra day given the intense run of fixtures?
Yeah, probably. I think we would have rather played the game, and we were all set to go to Scunthorpe and try and win the game. But as you said, it's going to give us an extra few days to rest and recover from a tough game against Pride, because we were a little bit tired, I thought, towards the end of that game. So lads have got a really good chance to. We've got some work into them, but enough to get the rest as well. So it came at not a bad time, I think, and hopefully, with that little break, everyone's fresh and ready to go tomorrow.
Certainly Oldham's fixture will give the fans excitement. Do the lads have a similar mindset when it comes to these sort of games?
Yeah, I would have thought so. I hope so. It's a local derby, I suppose, with 20 minutes up the road, so it should do. You shouldn't need that, whoever you're playing against. In this league, it's going to be tough. You should be up for the game. You should be ready to go. The attitude should be right, and I think it is. But we don't know until we've got it in tomorrow.
How are the squad looking fitness-wise? Are you happy?
Yeah, we're all good. I think everybody's trained more or less. I think there's only Richard Towell who's out. Everybody else is fit and ready to go.
And a lot of the teams above us play each other this weekend, 8 at the top 9. Does that make a result even more significant at all, or is it all just on the side?
We're not really interested in it. We need to win our games. If we're going to start climbing the league, we just need to concentrate on our side. We need to go on Saturday, we need to win our game, we need to fill out our games and win our game. That's the only thing that matters. And
just finally, a word on the FA Cup draw on Monday night. Hartlepool, familiar opponents. Are you happy with the draw?
Yeah, it's always nice to get a home draw, I suppose. Hartlepool are a decent team. I think Mark Shelton was there for a while. He's up there as well. So yeah, it'll be difficult. We know that every game, as I said, is difficult. Whether it's a league game, it's a FA Cup game. But we'll give it our best shot to try and get to the next round.
So that is what Scholes said. Now it is nearly time for kick-off. You might be able to hear just a very famous Salford song, you know, Dirty Old Town. So the lads will be walking out at any moment soon. Now, if you want to watch the game, go to live.salfordcityfc.co.uk. Purchase your match pass. It is £10 for UK viewers, £7 for international viewers. The prices are set by the EFL. Those prices are also because of the exchange rate. So make sure you get that match pass, support the club, and most importantly, enjoy the game and listen out to those Halloween words. I want to hear them at half-time, seriously. Get in the comments, let us know. But participate in Halloween commentary bingo and you'll be able to win a Bobby the Lion if you are our winner. But we'll watch the game, so you will see us again at half-time. And we'll be talking through your Halloween goodies at home. We have some Salford City pumpkins and some Salford City fancy dress. So, you just got to tune into us, haven't you? But we'll see you then. Make sure you tune into live.salfordcityfc.co.uk to watch the full game, and we'll see you at half-time.